looking for those mad gains. Instead, I guess we're too late. I think I found someone, boys, but this can't be right, boys. No way! Get your ass back to the ship, we're going! Maybe Elvis is dead after all.
This is Radar Command. Prepare for incoming troll attack.
The data, it's all coming so fast. This is Officer Richter.
This is Bridge to Command. Reset all coordinates to Pulse Bitcoin.
Where'd you get this new hyperdrive from, mate?
Got it off Dodgy Dave down Spaceport 3. Getting 3 hyperdrives a day out of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Tonight, we are talking everything Pulse Bitcoin, everything ASIC mining token, and Pulse Dogecoin. Yes, you're in the right place.
The stream will commence shortly.
Pulse Bitcoin is fully decentralized. No founder, government, bank, or hacker can shut it down. The code is 100% immutable. Pulse Bitcoin has a limited supply of 21 million and is deflationary, unlike the US dollar.
Hey man, I heard about this Pulse Bitcoin thing, man. It's just really awesome. How the hell do we get some? Give me a website, man. Where do I buy it?
live stream has commenced. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the solution.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you're receiving this transmission, you are the solution. You do have access now to life-changing wealth. It's a very hot and sticky day in England here. I'm absolutely sweltering. 31 degrees today, which is just unbearable when you have no air conditioning or fans in the house. Today, I'm joined by the one and only Daric from Rhino.win. He's been a close community member of the EMIC Council, someone that we've hosted many spaces with over the last year or so. And of course, the one and only DeFi Nation, Hollywood producer and PulseChain shark. Oh, as well as Pulse Bitcoin whale. Don't forget that one. Let's bring them on, shall we? Whoops, I've removed Daric. Let's add him back to the stage. How you doing, Daric? Let's bring on DeFi Nation. How you doing, DeFi Nation?
Hey, guys.
Oh, beautiful background there, buddy.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat if there are any audio issues, if one of us is too loud or too quiet, because last time DeFi Nation and I went live, I didn't realize till the playback that we were playing his trailers and they were so quiet that we couldn't hear anything. So yeah, do let us know if one of us needs to turn our mics up or if I'm drowning anyone out. But yeah, fellas, how we doing? How we feeling about PulseChain today?
Doing fine.
Yeah.
Got a day off today in the States. It's Memorial Day, so we're honoring the troops that have sacrificed the ultimate sacrifice. So we're celebrating that, and got a little lift of pulse over the last couple of days, so that's encouraging.
I love the background, by the way, on your stream as well. I said earlier, you're a bit of a guitarist, are you?
Yeah, I've been playing guitar for like 30 years. And,
wow.
I'm in a couple bands, and I just collect guitars. And
what sort of music is it you play?
It's all kinds of different stuff. I'm in a hip hop fusion band, and I'm also in a metal band. So wow. I can do it all. I'm pretty versatile.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun.
And obviously, you're. So tell us, you're obviously. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit to everyone?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Daric. I'm a co-founder of Rhino.win. It's a fiat transaction token with a twist. We've got built-in liquidity dApp where you can pair your Rhino with your favorite altcoins, and you receive Pulse rewards, or you receive Pulse for just holding liquid Rhino in your wallet. And it's got a treasury that participates in True Farm and Emit in the single-sided staking pools, as well as the farms. So that's
those farms are killer, and I just don't understand why so many people aren't utilizing the farming on PulseChain. But don't we say this every week?
Yeah.
So many people are missing out on that.
The crazy thing is that we actually had PulseX farms built into our contract, and then Inc. just failed, right? So we had to find other ways, and we really like the communities with True Farm and Emit. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously I put a post up today talking about some of the opportunities in Hex right now, and one of the comments, someone was like, "Yeah, but the whole purpose of Hex, was the interest, and now it's gone. It's more operating like a meme token." And I just replied, "Look, dude, at this point, I kind of the only way Richard could get those get the liquidity down to a level where the community and/or him can pump it at this stage is we need the liquidity." And I'll exchange that interest rate. I mean, you want the high interest rate in a bear market, but I think, when you really want to move and you want to make that thing lighter, I think reducing that interest rate for those stakers was key personally. So I'll take that trade off.
Yeah, I mean, people were staking for a week at a time and making a killing.
Yeah.
You know, and that just ultimate sell pressure on the chart forever. You know, so now it's kind of more like a bond yield, and you know, if there's price appreciation, it will still be attractive. And then he has options with whatever he does with his monster stakes that he can do whatever he will, right? So who knows what will happen?
Exactly. Let's should we have a quick look at the macro on how Bitcoin's doing and all that?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Let me see if I can prepare my screen. I always forget to do this before we go. Was that showing it already?
Yes.
All right, let's remove that for now. Cool. Right, let's look at the charts. There we are. It was a failed advertising video, so I thought I'd reuse it. Right. Let's have a look. Let's move ourselves over to the side. I don't know where DeFi Nation's gone. I think his phone gets a bit hot in that heat, so he'll probably drop back in a bit. Let's have a look, shall we? So obviously the big news today after the weekend is we've had this Brent oil come down quite a bit, which is good, right? We're happy with that. Looks like it's fallen below some of these moving averages. So yeah, I mean that's some sweet relief for us, even if it doesn't last. We'll take it at this point. It looks like that's on the back of Trump announcing over the weekend that you know, they're coming. It looks like the will to continue the war is kind of diminishing now, and it looks like he's making noises as they get closer to the midterms. Looks like they're making noises to try and get this thing tied up in a deal.
Yeah, I mean, to me it's completely manufactured. I mean, what was the point of that, right? It was just crazy. So
yeah, I mean, it was very unpopular war. He's lost a lot of his base over that, right? So I think getting those voters back is going to be dependent on getting some sort of deal, I think, for the midterms.
Yeah, it's totally opposite of the base of what he was campaigning on. And, you know, I mean, how much of a threat were they? You know, it's debatable for sure.
Yeah. Exactly. Sorry, I'm just DeFi Nation's come back in. Let me see if I can get him back. No, sorry, 1 second. DeFi Nation, stand by. I'm going to try and add you back. I might have a group setting here. Let's try this. Let's see if this works. No, I can't. We'll bring you back in a second, dude. We'll just quickly have a look at the Bitcoin chart, and then we'll bring you back in. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. It's doing some interesting things. So obviously I've drawn this. This is what I expect to happen. I'm not an expert by any means, but I'm expecting something like this. It looks like we came down and tested that. The last time we looked at it was last week. It looks like we have come down and tested the bottom of this bull flag. I know the bears are saying we're in a big bear flag here, but within that, you know, we're above the some important moving averages. We're above the Gaussian channel, which I've got it hidden here behind my screen. So we're coming to test that Gaussian channel. Let's see what happens. But who knows? We might come down to sweep the lows, try and get some bears feeling happy over the next week. But I think at the moment it's very news dependent, isn't it? It's very news dependent. But I am expecting something like an ABC over the coming months. I'm very bullish. I'm a bit of a permabull at the moment, but I'm not blindly bullish. I understand that obviously news can change this straight away.
Yeah, I mean, the new Fed chair hasn't even had time to change his underwear yet. You know, I mean, until he starts messing around with the policy, which I expect that he will do. He's Trump's boy. So I mean, I'm expecting great things from crypto in general, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it seems the market has priced in the idea. Actually, I've got a tweet here we can show, but I won't do it because what happens is at the moment, every time I bring a screen up, DeFi Nation gets cut out. So I have to change that for next stream. I think I've only set the studio up for 2 guests. My apologies. Growing pains. But yeah, it looks like the market is pricing in the idea that interest rates weren't going to be adjusted. So I think he's got a huge crypto bag. I think he's been brought in to try to lower these interest rates before the midterm. So I believe the market is kind of incorrect on that. I think we might get some surprise adjustment there.
Well, yeah, I mean, oil needs to come down before interest rates do, right? So I expect him to shake loose here soon. I mean, that's his lever that he can pull. It seems like you have to create a crisis first with inflation and price, and it seems like the war is just that, manufacturing crisis, and then they have a reason to cut the rates and turn the printers on, and then Bitcoin goes, right? So, I mean, the timing of that chart looks looks pretty good.
I just think we're going to be moving into so much liquidity. I think people are going to be really taken offside by it. DeFi, what's your opinion on the market? So you feeling bullish?
Yeah, I think with the Clarity Act, passing soon, then that will change a lot, and then also the war kind of winding down and stuff. So.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying, I think Clarity Act is going to be bullish, no doubt about that. I do expect a sell the news event though once it does pass, but I think that will only be temporary. I think something like will run up, get around to around 98,000 on Bitcoin. Something bullish on the Clarity Act will pass. We'll get another sell the news event to confuse everyone. Maybe make a local high, that ABC pattern I told you about, and then we're off to all-time highs. I think by late summer, but. It's trying to time these things is just, like you don't want to become a Tom Lee, right? And as I always say, I think Tom Lee's right, but his timing is just so off, right?
Well, I mean, think about July last year. I mean, Rhino launched July last year because we thought that was liftoff time, right? And we got the Balance and Pulse. We had Tom Lee showing all of our bags. I mean, everything looked primed and ready to go, and he was just way off. I mean, and it was just the timing's been pulling us for a year.
Oh, myself was way off. I remember
Sorry?
2020. I remember. No, I think it was 2017, and he was way off then too.
Yeah, I mean, even Richard was bullish last year. I think a lot of us were, and I think that October event, that huge liquidation event, really kind of set us back quite some time in the market. Right? Looks like the market's starting to recover now, and I think we are going to get this huge AI bubble. I think this AI bubble is going to be. I think they're going. And Trump's even said he's going to pump. He's basically going to They're going to buy their way out of this. They're going to buy their way into productivity. I think they're going to buy themselves out of this. And I think people underestimate how much they're going to pump into the markets, basically, in the run up to this this election. Because, I mean, he's got to do something, right? I mean, some people are saying, oh, he doesn't want to win. It's his last term. But I think I don't think it works like that. I think he's trying to create a legacy. So he's probably, whoever he passes the baton over to, I think that's going to be very much kind of part of the plan,
So it's interesting. In 2017, when we went crazy in crypto, rates were actually going up. So that it's not totally dependent on whether or not they're raising or cutting rates. It's completely dependent on the money printer.
Yeah.
So even if the Fed chair can't have his way with cutting the rates, for whatever reason, they're still going to print. I mean, they have to.
Yeah. And hopefully we see some rotation as well from the because I mean crypto is the only market that hasn't pumped at this point, right? And at least we're seeing now some positive stuff for PMI. We're seeing that copper to gold ratio looking real sweet now. Looks like it's crossing to the upside, and we all know that Ethereum goes crazy when that happens. That's correlated really heavily. Let's have a look at the Pulse chart, shall we? See how everyone's doing on Pulse. See if we can get that one up. Oops. Close the window again. Of course I have. Where are we? We're over here. We're going to go to Pulse. This is pulse against die. Again, we're in this boring bottoming phase, but I take it rather than being in a downtrend. Obviously, if we zoom out, everybody knows we're in this huge downtrend. Not really been an uptrend once since the chain launch. So 3 years to sell off. Obviously, many chains have had starts like this before they start to move. There's nothing new. But, you know, we all bought the top basically when it launched. So if you're one of the people that has fresh capital at this point, I would say, not financial advice, but I'm certainly buying these bottoms. I don't know about you chaps.
What's the timing on that wedge right there?
This one here?
Yeah.
I mean, on the RSI, it looks like end of the month, we got to do something. But you know what it's like? Sometimes these things go like this, and you look at the wedge, and it just keeps going like that, right? I've seen that before. Sometimes they just do nothing. But the RSI is going to have to do something, right? So who knows? I think it's dependent on what kind of the macro market does. But we are seeing some positive stuff right now. We're seeing some stuff like Zcash. We're seeing stuff like Zcash has just been a huge uptrend. We saw Railgun. That's gone up like hell for leather recently. Look at that move, man. That went from like $1.33 up to $4.73 in a matter of, look at that, daily candles in less than a week. So we are seeing stuff pop off, you know, which is a good sign.
But what do you think the Zcash is all about?
Well, Zcash, what they've done is they've cleverly done what most teams are supposed to do, and they've just spent the last few years just accumulating what people call the dead coin, and you know, that's what you do. That's the way that you create a chart like this. And I know there was some FUD around the dev team leaving. I think they pumped up here, and then they had some of their devs leave, and then they corrected. And yeah, there's just been another accumulation, and they've started running again. But looks like all the privacies. I got into some Dash recently. I think I just bought some Dash. Was it Zen? I bought some Zen. I'm going for a long here on Zen. I like the look of this one. I like these long, boring charts. Do you know what I mean? That kind of look like they've got to make a decision. I like this downward wedge the RSI is in. But there's been some AI tokens popping off as well. We've had Venice token popping off here. Some nice gains there, coming in from $2 up to $20 in a few weeks. So there is signs of a market warming up. And if we look at others BTC here, where is it? Others total market cap of all altcoins excluding the top 10. Looks like we're about to move here, right? Possibly, you know. We'll see. Yeah, but again, the pulse is kind of boring, guys. As you know, pulse is just kind of doing nothing. We'll see if we get some movement here. Hex. This is Hex on PulseChain. Looking kind of bad. I mean, look, at least it's trying to bottom, right? At least it's trying to bottom. It's trying to do something. But I really like Hex on ETH right now. I think that's looking real good. Again, trying to bottom. Bottoms. I mean, let's keep an eye on the RSI, see if we get a breakout. The MACD is looking like it's going for a bit of a turn up here, but you know, let's see, guys. Let's see.
I'm very bullish on EX, man.
Me too.
I love it. When Richard funded the hell out of it, I just scooped. I loaded up the truck, man. Wow. There's no way to let that go.
That ratio was sweet, wasn't it? That ratio trade when he tweeted about EX being dead. I mean, I think you're 350% up right now if you did that trade.
Yeah, I did that trade.
Yeah, nice, man. Obviously, all of us are in EMIT. Should we have a quick look at EMIT, how that's doing? EMIT is, I'd say, the most successful farm on PulseChain at the moment. certainly got the most users, I think. Emit's doing pretty good here. I mean, look, how long has this thing been going on? It's been going on since March 25. We're now in May 26, so been going a good while. And tell me another token you can farm, which doesn't get dumped into oblivion. You know, I'll
It's
wait.
all about the single-sided staking on that. And by the way, I mean, am I only supposed to have single-sided staking in the stack phase? I mean, I heard that everywhere, and then all of a sudden, we launched, and like Richard's like, I never said that. Like, what? What are you talking about? It's the missing piece, right there for the farm. So.
Yeah, they had like the pancake swap style kind of like you could stake PLSX and earn like other tokens, and they never came about. A lot of people were upset about that.
Yeah, well, I was too, man. I mentioned to Sammy earlier when we launched Rhino, we had PulseX farms built into the contract, and luckily we were able to turn. We had an off function on that. We could stop it once the ink dried up, but it was really great to see Emit come out with that farm and being a part of that whole community. It's been great.
I know you guys are also you're both in True Farm as well, right? Do you want to have a look at that one?
Sure.
True Farm looks like it's trying to find a bottom right now. It's newer, obviously. It's a fork of Emit. Really oversold on the RSI, but they've got single-sided staking as well. They've got fewer farms than Emit, so less communities involved. But I guess you could say it's more. I think they've got higher inflation. Tell me if that's correct. And but they've got fewer farms. I believe their only farms actually have to pair with their True Farm token. Is that correct?
Mostly, yeah. I think they have one or two farms that are without the token.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's also a higher barrier of entry of making proposals there. So you got to have a big fat stack of True Farm to make a proposal, and then be active and everything else. But they're looking for specific partners, which I don't blame them for that.
Cool.
But yeah, I think that chart's going to be looking better soon.
And should we pull up the Rhino Fi chart?
Sure.
Do you prefer log or non-log?
Either one. It's fine.
Where are we? I think I've got it up here somewhere. This is against PLS. So you're doing really well against PLS.
We were cruising right along Pulse Bitcoin. I was watching your chart the whole time. Like, wow, we're both tearing it up.
Yeah.
And we also had a sell-off almost the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what happened around that time? It was when everyone started to get really bearish around Bitcoin. When we kind of didn't break out of that bull flag I pointed out earlier. I think that was around the Clarity Act good news, and it looked like we had a sell the news event, even though it was positive news. And I think a lot of people got shaky hands. So I think we had a lot of people. I saw it on the EHEX chart. I saw it on lots of charts. I think there was a few people that panicked and went to stables at that point.
That's exactly what happened on the sellers of Rhino. They all went into USDC, and it's all right. We're still way up on Pulse than where we were. I mean, if you can see that huge dump off that we had right in the middle of the chart,
yeah,
that was scary.
I guess that was just an early adopter exiting, right? Maybe.
Yeah, it got bought up like almost immediately.
Yeah,
but man, I mean, when we were first launching, we had close to 800,000 of liquidity, and it went all the way down to like 50,000 with Pulse just falling off a cliff. So real thin liquidity when that happened, and then we've been building up our liquidity ever since. So,
and this is your US dollar chart. So it looks like you're in this uptrend locally here. You made a higher high. So you got your low point there, and then you've got a higher low here. Looks like you're trying to form another higher low, and obviously you got this overhead resistance, and then looks like you've got a potential run up if you break that resistance up to 201128.
A little help from Pulse would be nice, you know?
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, just if you're new here, obviously, when PulseChain is going down or sideways, you really want to be going up against Pulse, which is the chart we just showed. So you really want to be accumulating against Pulse, and then when Pulse starts going up, you might sacrifice some of your Pulse value, or you might maintain it, and then you get more bang for your buck going up against the US dollar, especially if you're paired heavily with Pulse. That's the way to do it, right? With Hart's Law.
Yeah. We had a very large ProveX pool as well.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's actually larger than your PLS pair.
Yeah. We thought ProveX was at the bottom around, 5.5 or something, and it kept going down.
Yeah. We had someone come in. We had a new buyer come in and pair up our Pulse Bitcoin with a load of he put like $9,000 of ProveX, paired it with ProveX, and someone else came in and did it with Peacock. I mean, we were happy with the Peacock pair because that's been a nice pair for us. But yeah, the ProveX has been a very underperforming. I think I didn't touch that one. I didn't sacrifice. I didn't really want to get in because of the buck fiat pull. I don't really want to buy something when someone's got a PX discount on me, you know.
I actually did have pretty good luck using their pool. The bonus was great. I was pretty heavily in profit, and it just the price went down. But I haven't participated in fucks or $2, for a while.
Sammy, is PLSP up? Is it still up like 30x against PLS or?
Yeah, let's have a quick look at the Pulse Bitcoin charts. I know a lot of people watching this will be interested in that. It's good to see you, by the way. Cindy Lou, I've seen your name around. I think you followed me recently, so thank you very much for that. And Super Snake 8243, been mining PSB since day one. Still accumulating PSB and ASIC. Your thoughts on ASIC price going forward as a utility token? I think Ben, you might have some words on that. ASIC as a utility token going forward. What's your thoughts on that?
ASIC, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potential for ASIC if builders want to come and build with it and use it as a staking token, like similar to the ASIC hardware. You can mine with ASIC on Pulse Bitcoin, Pulse Litecoin dApps. So there's no reason why no one can't build more tokens that you can mine with. And Sammy, me, and Karos are working on a project that will incorporate ASIC for the Pulse Bitcoin community as well. So
that's correct. Yes, I'm just getting ready. I'm just getting the Pulse Bitcoin chart ready, and we'll pull up the ASIC one as well. So let's do similar to what we did with Rhino. We'll do it the other way around though. So we're starting off with. Can you see my screen or not? Or do I need to change the settings? I think I need to change the settings. Yeah, at the stage. So this is Pulse Bitcoin against the US dollar. Now, what's really interesting is we've been having this resistance. Let me load up my screen. It's easier. Having this resistance above us as the mining reward is lowered, the inflation's got lowered as well, basically. So the less dumping power from the miners. So we kept getting rejected every time we tried to break out here. And similar to what Daric was talking about on the Rhino chart when they had to dump same sort of time when we had the Clarity Act around here. The bullish news, someone panicked on our side. And what was good for us here is we've moved up from half a penny up to around 6.2 cents. And we had a panic dumper here. And we actually had relatively thin liquidity for the size of our token. I think we were around $1 million market cap around this price. So we only had around, I want to say around 60K in all pools at the time. And only around, I think we only had around $20,000 in the main PLS pool. After this dump, buyers came in, bought it up, made a beautiful weekly chart for us. And then an extra $35,000 of liquidity was added to the main pool. So now, not only did it get bought up, but we got backed up by extra liquidity. So that's really nice. So I don't think we'll see anything like that again. We're only seeing this bullish downward wedge on the RSI. We've got bullish divergence here, hidden bullish divergence, which is nice. And yeah, we're also up, like Rhino Fire, we're also up on the pulse chart. This is it on the weekly. Again,
that's a hell of a run. Look at that.
That was the 32x, I believe, there. And look at that weekly candle. So, didn't even reach resistance here. So yeah, I mean, I think our next target is 20,000 pulse. One pulse Bitcoin currently sitting around 4,500. But I mean, that should, if you think about the supply of pulse against the supply of pulse Bitcoin, there's no reason it shouldn't be much higher, So I think he wanted to see ASIC as well. Have I got that? ASIC is obviously the main pool is with PLSB. That one's got around $20,000 in it. So most people, the way you buy your ASIC is actually through the PLSB pool. So when you buy PLSB, so when you buy ASIC, it will route through those pools. We don't really have a major pool for that because everyone's mining with their tokens. No one really wants to stop mining for providing liquidity. The only way you can get them to stop mining is to give them an incentive via EMIT pool, pay them EMIT to provide liquidity with PLSB. So,
well,
but that's
what is the best strategy to utilize for ASIC and PLSB? What like for people just starting, like what is the best approach to getting involved?
I think there's different strategies people have. So I think if you're kind of die hard, then you want to, and you kind of like, you want to be mining and you kind of want to be doing this thing for the rest of your life or next 10, 20 years, like myself, like some of the hardcore community, they tend to buy up some ASIC and like to mine every month, every 30 days. And the ratio at the moment is, I think it's around one ASIC is, same. I think it's like 5 to 1. So 5 ASIC is the same price as one pulse Bitcoin. And that tends to drop in the ratio value against PSB every time there's a halving, because people are saying, well, I'm getting diminishing returns on my mining. And some people, because it's cheaper, and they're kind of thinking about some of the alpha that Ben's saying with additional farms coming out or staking coming out or extra tokens you can mine, are kind of maybe buying up ASIC because of that extra utility that might come. But most of the market, we've only got around 346 or something people mining every month on PulseChain, whereas we've got something like 7,500 holders of Pulse Bitcoin. So most people just prefer to buy Pulse Bitcoin as their store of value.
So what is the output of the miners on a monthly basis?
I think it's 1.78 at the moment, something like that, 1.78%.
Wow.
Yeah. That's going to drop. I think we're like, once we get to the end of this halving, which is halving 4, that's going to cut in half, Effortless. How you doing? I see you got the Hex logo. We did have a look at the Hex charts. Just sharing that we're both super bullish on eHex. I think that one is the most hated of all the Richard Hart tokens, the most oversold. But I don't know, ProveX might be the most hated. That's a debate. But or Inc, I don't know at the moment which one's the most hated. But I just kind of had this opinion. I'm not sure if you agree, Daric. But I don't see it's really worth getting tribal over the cause. I kind of think they're all tied to liquidity, right? So whatever happens, you just want people to buy up their favorite core at this point, right? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I think that, the timing of the ProveX sacrifice pissed a lot of people off.
Yes.
which was good for those that did it, right? Like, I participated and it was, successful. It's been dropping ever since, but you can't go wrong with any of them. I mean, I would think that you should be looking at the pulse ratio when you're buying them, trying to get the best pulse ratio you can get for whatever core that you're looking at. And then you can ratio trade when it bounces the other way, or, whatever, to increase your bag of any of the cores. If pulse goes up, everything goes up. And if any of the cores go up, the liquidity is thick. So,
Yeah, and obviously, I think you'd agree with me. Most people who have a day job who aren't into technical analysis, it's probably advisable not to ratio trade. I think that's more for advanced users. Would you agree?
yeah, I mean, I've had some success with it, but it's definitely not something. I'm not watching the charts every day. I mean, like what ratio is, but Pulse X to Pulse is the one that I kind of was an easy ratio trade, but I also have alerts set or whatever. But yeah, I mean, AI has actually helped me do some of that. So I'm not super active. I'm not a trader. But when the ratio is right, I might take advantage of it if I happen to notice, big gap. So it's not something. I'm not an active ratio trader for sure.
Well, on that point, sorry, I just muted you, D Foundation, because you got a lot of wind coming through. I will mute you now. There you go. Let's have a quick look, shall we, at some of those ratios, because people might be interested. Should we pull up the Pulse against PulseX ratio? Let's have a quick look at that one. That one's quite an easy one, actually, to trade so far on the way up. So this is the value of PulseX against PLS, and PulseX has been gaining in value the last 3 years against the value of Pulse.
It's at the bottom of the channel,
Yeah. So potentially, if this trend does not break, obviously trends do break. Someone who likes this trend, you'd have to do some other TA on this. Maybe look at some indicators, look at some volumes. But yeah, potentially. This is no advice. I've not looked into this one, but someone who bought down here, sold down here, sold up here, bought down here, sold up here, could have easily made it a lot more Pulse with not having to buy in. So that's one example.
Yeah, it's definitely buying PulseX time. That was actually a recent trade that I did do.
Nice. Yeah. It seems to be getting a bit bullish on the timeline as well, doesn't it? I do see it popping up more and people talking about it more and more. So I mean, look, you have got a nice wedge there as well. Yeah, it could potentially run. Let's have a look at the measure move on that. If it does run against Pulse, I mean, top of the channel is a nice, basically 2x. Let's just do something like this. Yeah, so it's a 2x basically if that does run by the looks of it. So yeah, this is not advice. I'm just having a look here. Let's have a look at the E-hex to hex ratio because we do like to bring that one up. This is E-hex against the price of hex. This was the Richard Hart tweet that made everyone dump their pulse set. Sorry, their E-hex.
Look at that drop, man. That is unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm bullish on this. I did the
reminds
trade
me of the reminds me of the P-Dye dump when he was fighting that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. But
what are your thoughts, Daric, on P-Dye?
I have a moon bag and I hope it works. I don't know what the probability is, but that's a hell of a narrative for PulseChain if it works. Who knows? But yeah, my bags are packed.
But yeah, I mean, let's bring up a comment here. I agree with Fat Sammy. E-hex is the red-headed stepchild. That's not very nice. Of all the RH tokens, in my opinion, folks are blind not to recognize the hex OA or RH airdropping E-hex to millions of ETH wallets and not bullish. Yeah, that's 100% correct. I spoke about that at the time. That I think he sent out around 7 million E-hex to some of the largest wallets on the Ethereum network, and that could be a signal that he thinks it's bottomed. It could be a signal that I mean, why would you send out an advertisement of a coin that's just going to show up in someone's Rabby wallet printing red every day? I think it's potentially maybe linked to some timing here. But yeah, to look at that trade there, you've if you kind of bought those bottoms there, You're already 341% up, I believe that is. And we're in this really healthy uptrend on the weekly chart. And look, there's so if you get this bull flag here, you've got another measure move here. From price now, potentially up another 43%. And that's no laughing matter. 43%. That's almost getting yourself, you know, well, an extra half of your hex bag without having to spend money. So I think the smart money may make a move there again. I know someone did comment that they saw some bearish divergence on some of their charts, but bearish divergence does not always play out. We'll see. But there's your parity target. If you do get back 1-to-1, you're talking about doubling your hex bag at least there. So we'll see what happens on that.
You still staking? Like,
am I still staking? No, I'm not.
I do it once in a while, just a small bag, you know, just something, you know, if he does anything with those monster hex stakes, like any kind of game theory with it to increase the yield, it could be interesting, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm farming with my hex. I actually get better yield farming with my hex, so I kind of prefer to do that.
An actuator or?
Well, emits. I've only got a small amount of p hex, so that's in emit.
Yeah, it has the hex PLS pair on emit.
Yeah, and I think there's a hex PLS hex emit pair, and then the rest of it, I'll be honest with you, I'm keeping liquid because I'll probably trade some in and out as we make our first kind of. Once we start making our first 10x, 20x, 30x, I'll probably be trading some of that, using it to pump PLSB. You know, kind of rotating it to kind of fill the bags of the Pulse Bitcoin holders. That's probably what I'll do. Who knows? But also, obviously, I think there's lots of other projects, farming projects coming up on PulseChain that are going to allow me to provide liquidity in farms with my EHEX. So I'd much rather keep it liquid staked in something rather than be locked in. And I've still got my long stakes, you know, but I'm just not really. I don't find it that attractive at the moment to lock up for a long time. But each to their own.
It seems like the DeFi summer vibes are kind of kicking off just with the farms that are available on PulseChain right now, especially for, you know, founders or people. I mean, it just seems like it makes the most sense. And when you're getting liquidity pools set up when they're this cheap, huge payoff potential in the future, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I think everyone's talking about, you know, PulseChain being a dead chain, and I was just thinking today, I'm gonna probably make a video on this, and it's like you get the haters or the cryfags, as our community calls them, when the price is going down, and even when your price goes up, you get them. Like I was just sharing today the Pulse Bitcoin chart, and I was just had this guy just hating on me. I'm thinking, dude, we just did a 32x, and you're still hating on me. It's like, I'm sorry you dumped. Like, what do you want me to do? Price goes down, I get the hate. Price goes up, I get the hate. And I think we see the same with Hex, right? We see the same with PulseChain. I think a lot of people are just very miserable and like to kind of put their misery out in the world. And I don't know, but I just think I have a rule where you're try and reason with them, try and, you know, not be rude back, try and kind of show them the other side of the argument. And if they just keep coming at you with rudeness, just block them. You know, you don't need that negativity in your life. What's your opinion on that, Daric?
Yeah, I don't give it any mind. I mean, if they want to have a conversation, sure. You know, if they just want to throw darts, you know, I got better things to do. But I think it's like the sentiment. I mean, if you think about previous bull markets, it didn't matter what you bought, it went up.
Yeah.
So, and this has been down for 5 years, you know, so you can really tell when people start getting fiery that it's, you know, it's definitely bearish and sentimental change and things will. But if you're not, you know, setting your foundation, and the worst part, it's the scariest time to buy and invest and build the foundation. You got to force yourself to get over that, to, you know, people like to buy green candles. It's nuts. You know, I mean,
yeah,
it's really just a mental muscle that you really have to create.
That's what humans are. That's what humans are like, though. It's even when you see someone get hit by a car or something awful in real life, or how often you see the crowd stand back in shock, and it usually takes the first few people to go over and help before the crowd kind of does something. You know, and I think most people, we act like herd animals, and people never want to go first. So I think if you're buying these bottoms, you have conviction. Obviously, it could go. You know, you're being brave because you know you might already be downloads. You might get a lot of grief from your wife or your husband or your family members, and they might be saying, you know, you're treating you like a gambling addict because at this point you may come across like that. But you know, having this conviction in yourself, it's the same as putting your life savings into a restaurant that's failing. You know, what's the difference? And you want to keep going. You know, I do say that a lot of people like to kind of disregard crypto as gambling, but any venture with your capital is a risk.
I was watching, I guess Sammy posted a video yesterday, and he was talking about the ones that go all in are the ones that make it the most, you know. So, and it's just like Tiger Woods in golf or Serena Williams in tennis, you know, the people that focus and just, you know, have one direction that they're going in are the ones that make it. I mean, what are you going to do? Sell your bags at the low? What are you thinking? You know, so.
You can really tell. You can see now why 99% don't get rich off crypto. You really can, can't you? You've got to be really kind of level-headed. You've got to really keep your cool, really understand what you bought, and have that kind of long-term conviction, not blind conviction. You've got to re-look at something. Obviously, if something happened, you know, where your founder is definitely going to start dumping his bags, you obviously kind of take that seriously and look at that. But, you know, or some black swan event or... But yeah, I think you really got to think what's changed in my life. Has, you know, are altcoins going to be down forever? Do I think that's the case? Do I think we're going to have all this liquidity into the market? Do I think that I'm in a community that is still live streaming, still having guests on, still having wallets built, still having DeFi built? Do I not think there's going to be a rush? Have I not seen many altcoins go sideways like we just saw the Zcash chart? Have I not seen coins go sideways for multiple years and then just have, you know, life-changing wealth? We've seen it with XRP. We've seen it with so many things, right? And it's all down to, can you hold your community? Can you absorb supply? And just coil up before you catapult. So I think
even the macro, do you think that the government's going to print money? Yes. I mean, are you going to get debased? Yes. Do you need something with a cap supply or deflationary? It's probably a better idea, you know. So you just have to you really have to have the conviction that you were just mentioning, because it's you can just find yourself right out of your position very easily.
100%. And we are going to, so we just had someone jump in here. That's, how you doing, Mr. Fontaine? Nice name. Hey chaps, looks like I missed most of the action. Yeah, this is a shorter stream today. Usually I go for a bit longer, but we're just going to keep it short because the heat is so bad here today for me. And I'm stuck in this office and this computer's pumping out extra heat. But I wanted to introduce you all to Daric. You'll probably see more of him in the future. We'll probably do some more streams together as I gear up to do more and more content. And obviously DeFi Nation, I think his phone's probably overheated. You'll be seeing more of him. Sup, Chads? Thank you, sir. We are Chads. And I hope you are too if you're buying these bottoms. Weather in England is mental. Yes, it is. Yeah. Same here, dude. Same here. So, Daric, what have you got coming up for the people?
Well, we have some new contracts that we're going to be rolling out for Renify, and there's going to be a new feature that will allow. So the way that Rhino works is it's a tax token, and we have a DApp on our website that's similar to like the UFO DApp.
Okay.
For liquidity. And so half the tokens were put into what we call a charging wallet, and it collected half the fees and would use those fees to put into, actually, if you go to token supply,
Yeah.
right in the middle.
Yeah.
So originally that charging wallet was 500 million.
Gotcha.
And so what we would do is on every 28 days, we have what's called a charging cycle. So all the pulse that charging wallet collects from the fees goes into the buy and burn contract. And if we set goal, the original goal was 1 billion pulse in the first cycle. And if we don't make that goal, what happens? Well, we actually burn up to 10% of that charging wallet. So, and then the goal gets changed to whatever we hit the previous month. So it has a floor of 250 million. It hit that floor because it went down, 9 cycles in a row, just like pulse, going down. It was hard for us to earn 1 billion pulse per charging cycle. So we've reduced the supply by 25% of the 50 that was in the charging wallet. We also had a buy and burn part of the fees. So if you go to the tokenomics part, a little bit.
Where am I going to find that? Is that down or up?
It's up.
Up. Oh, here. One of these? Or
fee system, sorry. On the left.
Fee system. Oh, yeah.
So we had a buy and burn percentage. We had a liquidity ad. And so once we hit our floor of 250 million Rhino in the charging wallet, it switched over to all rewards for everybody.
Right, I see. Token holders 2.5%, liquidity providers 2.5%.
So the people that were holding Rhino are now getting 25% more rewards, plus whatever was burnt or bought and burnt from the taxes. So it's just under 30% that's been bought and burned off the system. That people have, a higher stake of the float, and they have 30% more rewards now than they were getting in the past. So, we designed that going into it. We didn't, we thought when we launched in July of last year, it was going to go in an uptick.
Yeah.
But the system works. It went exactly to design. So we're just, our market cap is, just under 200,000, but we burnt, like almost 80,000 of that. And if you go to enter dashboard, top right on the header.
Yep.
So this is where your rewards are. So if you're holding, the holder earnings are how many pulse, you've earned by just holding Rhino.
Yeah.
And then on the claim rewards for LP, if you scroll up just a tad and hit the middle button there, manage LP.
Manage LP. Oh, nice. This is a nice website. Yeah.
These are all the pools that you can participate in. And when you're participating in a pool, you get the PulseX V2 fees. You bypass the taxes going in and out of the farms. The DApp holds your LP tokens in place, which is how we were able to bypass taxes going in and out. And then you also earn, you get Rhino shares. So if you entered one of the pool with 1 million Rhino and the equivalent amount of the other side of the pair, you would have 1 million shares. So if you have impermanent loss or impermanent gain, you might want to enter or exit the pool and then restake it just to increase your share count. It's because the share system is how we send out pulse rewards.
Right. That makes sense.
And then the charging cycle on the right, this is the buy and burn contract. This is where we're at so far this month. So we went down to 250 million Rhino when that cycle 9 ended. And then we've been adding, it can only go up from here. So we've actually added back 34 million Rhino into the, you see the balance, Rhino charging balance. Yeah. And then there's a couple 100 million pulse in the buy and burn. So what's going to happen is we're going to add a new contract to the right. So there'll be 3 panels here. And the new one will be buy and add LP,
right,
pulse, or it will be buy and add back to the charging wallet. So that will be the 2 options on that panel. So right now we're just in charging wallet building mode. So it's just going to be adding as many Rhino back to the charging wallet as it can.
Right.
and then it'll flip over to an LP mode after that.
Okay, so it's quite dynamic then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's your opinion, kind of basically on where do you want to sit with LP against market cap? Have you got an opinion on that?
I mean, our market cap is I forget what it is, like 180 or something like that, and our LP is probably 120, somewhere around.
So that's a very high LP for your market cap. What's the theory behind that?
Arbitrage. So
Right.
so if we can get arbitrage bots, taking those trades.
So you're going for the volume, I guess that makes sense, right? You want as much volume as you can possibly get.
That's right. So, and then we also have a Rhino arbitrage bot that levels out the pairs that we had through the launch phase, and it was still running. We were building, Pulse LP that will turn off on cycle 12. So we're hoping that the AMM bots that want to come arb our pairs with all the different farm pairs that we have available with Emit, True Farm, and everything on our DApp. That they come along and pay the tax, so similar to like a PGGC or UFO token. So, at the time, I like both of those protocols. So, it took little bits and pieces of the things that I like to create Rhino, and then we added the charging wallet to kind of, what happens in the bear? How do we, what is the protocol accountable for a bear market? No, but we try to make it better by reducing the overall supply of the token. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, you're regularly on the spaces, on the DeFi spaces. They're on Wednesdays, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. T-Shares hosts those, so check out that if you want to hear more from Daric on his updates.
That's past your bedtime, huh? It's way late for you, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm in bed by 9 p.m.
Right.
And that doesn't start till like 1 a.m.
Right.
I'm an early riser these days. And what was I say again? Yeah, should we quickly cover some of for the latecomers? Let's quickly cover some of the PulseChain news, and then we'll wrap it up. And if you have missed if you did come here for some of the Bitcoin, or you came here for some Pulse Bitcoin, or you came here for some Pulse or Hex or some Ratio, just rewatch the stream. You can find all that content in the middle of the stream. But we have been running for about an hour and 10 minutes. We're about an hour at the moment. So, yeah, we'll finish up with some PulseChain news, and we'll close it out. And let's try and do that. So we got MBS Crypto. So he's one of the EMIC gang as well, alongside Superman. They started this, as I'm sure everybody knows about it. It's a great thing for PulseChain, and we're really happy they do it. So Monster Thread number 55 has come out, and it's really good to see. I'm not sure what you think about this, Daric, but I think it's just really good to see, the community still having so much to talk about in these times, when things are so far down.
It's a great summary of what's happening. He's been doing it, for 52 weeks already or something like that? This is 55. Nice.
Yeah. And we've got Richard Hart says, use what was built to save you. Ice Wars sponsor. Showcase PulseChain as a major sponsor of the bike. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, have you seen that? They had these ice hockey guys. I'm not going to load the video. They always ice hockey guys like beating each other up, but it seems some new sport, and they had PulseChain on the back of their shirts. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
Kryptonite Show. Yeah, we like to support the Kryptonite Show with host Superman. Go follow him if you're not. He does daily shows, crunching all the data of the markets, and really worth watching. He supports a lot of the good DeFi projects that we support.
You got Alex on there. I want that wallet, man.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, you've got two really good wallets right now. You've got the ZKP wallet, right, which is shielding.
You can do multi-sends on it. I just saw them post something about here today. So you can actually do 2 swaps in the same transaction, or send to 100 different wallets in one transaction, which is really
awesome.
So yeah, that feature just came out.
Yeah, and then you've also got the wallet that Alex is building as well, right?
Yeah.
Sorry?
I want it bad.
Remind me, what's the features of that one?
it's a Rabby clone. But
That's it.
better.
That's it. Yeah. I love Rabby. That's kind of what I use mostly.
I still use it too. I mean, it operates the best as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm just kind of lazy to. It's it's like once you've got a wallet set up, sometimes the browsers don't like it when you start installing second wallets.
Oh yeah.
So I just kind of not done. I used to have internet money, my MetaMask, my Rabby, and I keep getting so many connectivity issues that I just kind of. But I'll probably install a second browser soon.
The ZKE wallet extension doesn't mess with the Rabby extension, so I can have both of those on my browser, and they don't seem to interfere with each other. But MetaMask certainly didn't play well with somebody else. Yeah, I'd have to turn the extension off. Otherwise, it was kind of wonky. But
that's good to know. Oh, we just apparently Tetra's also. Oh, I thought we were talking about wallet. Yeah, Tetra is currently releasing as well. Interesting concept. Yeah, that is super late to market. Obviously, Stu, who's a friend of mine. Do you know him, Derek? Do you know Stu, man?
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's been working away at this thing he had to start off with a quite large team, and now it's just him working on it. And I think some investors did dump because it's just taken so long to come to market. But these things do take time. He's very thorough. Wish him the best of luck on that.
Definitely.
It did, and that's automation. So it's a good way if you're doing lots of complex DeFi. It's a tool that you can use to automate. So yeah, we'll keep a keen eye for that one coming out. I wish he would do a little bit more. I invited him on the show in the past many times. He's just got his head down working, but I think he does need to give a little bit of updates for people so they stop dumping. I think just saying soon forever, you might end up
with those automations. That will be extremely helpful for any token with a treasury wallet, because you could literally code in, any kind of benevolent things as you want to do for your token without having to hire a developer. So really cool. I can't wait for that to come out.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's yeah. Some of the stuff you better do without needing a dev is gonna be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What else do we see here? It's popping out to us. We got the True DeFi space. We did mention that. I do try and talk to that, but usually I'm asleep by that time. You'll find Daric at the True 2x spaces. Brandon, Rags to Riches, he's been doing a great job. Someone else I used to speak to regularly. Gave an update on his SwitchX protocol. Go check that out.
That's really cool.
That's looking really cool.
It's a floating V3, liquidity engine, very, very advanced.
Yeah, and it looks like he's trying to break it down and make it accessible for people that aren't used to it as well. I saw he's releasing some nice little videos for people, telling them exactly what it is for people so I think a lot of people in PulseChain, they get afraid of LP. We've experienced it ourselves. We're trying to get people into farming. They hear of what they call it, impermanent loss, and they just instantly get scared. So I kind of think breaking down the barriers and educating people about the advantages of LP. And even if you don't provide LP, it's important to understand it, so you can understand how pools work and, see a volume in a pool. It's very good for evaluating tokens and finding good entries, understanding how the LP is set up.
Well, the V3 is, last full cycles limit orders. The V3 is a way to exit in a nice fat range without, setting limit orders or whatever. So it's definitely worth looking into if you haven't checked it out yet.
100%, sir. Oops, let's put us over here. I'll put some. There we are. I had to change that because we kept cutting off DeFi Nation earlier. I'm going to kind of wrap this up. So it's getting so hot in here, ladies and gentlemen. But go obviously give a retweet to MBS if you're not already following him. He's doing a really good job putting out the news, and it's something we can all on-chain rally behind. And I think apart from that, it's been good seeing you, Daric.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. And once I'm set up, I'm moving to France in a few weeks. So once I'm set up over there, it'd be good to have you on again. Catch your thoughts on the market if you're up for that.
You gonna have a fan?
Right?
You gonna have a fan, some air conditioning around the
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely going to buy some fans, man. I was thinking about getting an AC unit over there. It's just
I visited Paris in August of 3 years ago. It was so hot, I couldn't even believe it.
This will be the south, so it's going to be very hot down there. Very hot. But hopefully it'll be some interesting content. Do some walk and talks. Be a lot better than just filming the same old stuff I'm filming every day, But yeah, all right. Stay tuned, guys. Stay bullish. And tomorrow I'll be live streaming, doing my weekly slot, my new weekly slot with Crypto 7. That's going to be 10:30 a.m. British Summer Time. So it really is a live show for the UK PulseChain audience. They do stay live all week, so you can go check that out. I'll probably share it tomorrow. The week after that, we've got Crispy Man. No, not Crispy Man. Who have we got next week? Triplet Dad next week. But yeah, lots of people coming on each week. Stay tuned for updates, and hopefully, it's been a bit of a ghost town at the moment on PulseChain. I think we discussed that, didn't we, Daric? It's been a bit of a ghost chain. PulseChain's been a ghost chain, ghost train. Hopefully, people will start coming back when we get some green candles, eh?
That one can hope. Yes.
Yeah, we'll just be here keeping the lights on. Yeah. All right, guys. Please retweet the stream. Drop a comment. It really helps us out. All right. Take care. Thank you.
Cheers.
Maybe able to see dead after all.
This is Bridge to Command. Reset all coordinates to Pulse Bitcoin.